Just disbelief. It's heartache.
I should not be standing here doing this. That's my baby. Nobody has the right to do anything like that. No matter what the circumstances. Lord bless me with 5. Damn it. I got 4. Nobody told me anything about my son. Nobody told me he was dead. I didn't find out until late that night. Nobody still did not come here and tell me nothing. Like, why? He was running across the street. Why? It was on Frederick Boulevard. Why they keep saying Walmart parking lot? It was not. I don't even care where. It never should have happened. I had to bury my son. My son's supposed to bury me. That's my preacher. That's what I call him. That's all he did. Straight positive stuff all the time. It was so strong and positive. He motivated me. And I'm his mother. He mad. And there he come. Why? Why? Like, for real, why? Him, along with the rest of them, like, why? What's going on? Like, you couldn't, just call for backup, or you couldn't tase them, or you was that frightened of a child that you had to shoot him down like that.
What's giving you the strength right now to stand up here and talk to everybody?
Because that's my son. I have to speak for him. I have to be his voice. He didn't deserve this. He does nothing wrong. My son is a good kid. He was a good kid. That's my son. I have to speak for him. He can't tell his story. I can't even tell it because I wasn't even there. I just want y'all to know that he was not no bad child. Lord Jesus, everybody know how William is. He was not bad at all. Full of life.
You believe that your son was murdered?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For no reason. No reason at all.
What's your understanding of what happened?
All I heard was that he was at the store, maybe shoplifting, and ran away. And the officer couldn't catch him or something, and so he decided to shoot him. I know, I just have bits and pieces. Nobody came to me. Nobody at Walmart have talked to me. The police have not come to me. I don't know nothing about the last moments of my son. I don't know nothing.
You still have not talked to the police?
No, I have not talked to the police. They have not been around here, told me nothing. The detectives came here that night. I called 911 myself after I found out it was a boy that was 18. I said I have not seen my son for hours. I told him my son's name. The detective came. And he told me, yes, that was your son. He died at 7-something in the morning. And that was it. I have not seen or heard from nobody.
When was the last time you talked to your son?
That night when he went to bed.
The night before?
Yeah.
Typical for him to go to that Walmart location?
Yeah, he has a friend out that way, so they always go to Walmart, get their little games and stuff,
Had he been in trouble at all before?
I tell you what we're gonna really miss is that smile.
Oh,
I mean, he had a smile that would just brighten the darkest day.
And I just recently met him, and he's sitting on the porch, and I come past with the dog and speak to him, and he be reading books. He said he like to go to Portsmouth Library and read books. And he kept his backpack on his back.
I would just give him
he would read. He
a bookshelf for his books.
He loved his books.
He has so many books he loved to read.
We've been out here talking with friends and family all day. They paint this positive picture of your son. We have witnesses yesterday on camera saying they saw your son and he was becoming combative with the officer. Is that hard for you to believe?
Yeah.
Was he a combative person?
No. No. Very soft-spoken.
Very soft-spoken.
Gentle. He's a compassionate person. If he was struggling with the officer, it's because he was afraid. That's the only reason. Not because he wanted to harm an officer or just do that to get some type of attention. No.
And you called 911 because you hadn't heard from your son, and then you gave the name. At what point did you realize that it was him, the one that had been on the news that they were talking about?
I didn't know that it was him. I just heard that it was a child that was 18. So when I called 911, they asked my son's name, and I said William Chapman, and she put me on hold. And then she said, I'm gonna get a detective to talk to you. She said, but do you want to also do a missing person report? So I said, yeah. And she said, what's your son's name again? So I said, William Lester Chapman II. And she said, William Chapman II? Right then when she said that, I already knew. She said, hold on. She said, I gotta get a detective to talk to you. And he called me and asked for my address. And he came. I knew when she said his name like that, I knew. But how did it take for me to find out, you know, if this happened early in the morning? Why did it take so long?
Did your son ever express his fear of the police with you before?
No, he had no reason to. He don't get into altercations with no police officers.
I mean, had he been in trouble though?
No.
What time did you call 911?
Like 6 something. Yeah.
And I understand he had just moved back from his father said in Richmond. Is that where he had been in a group home? Is that where he was living up until a few weeks ago?
No, it wasn't Richmond. But yeah, he was away for a while. Yeah, until I got myself together. Not because he was a bad child.
What brought him back to town?
Huh?
What brought him back to town, and when did he come back?
Like a week after he turned 18.
Which was how long ago?
Came back in February.
February.
To go to school?
Mm-hmm.
Where was he in school?
When he came home, he didn't go to school right off. We were still trying to make plans and figure out what he was gonna do. You know, I didn't push him. You know, it was on his time. He had a lot of things that he wanted to try out. You know, he was always on the internet. He wanted to make the right decisions, you know, for himself. You know, he's 18, you know, he don't really need mommy, you know what I'm saying, telling him, go there, and, you know what I'm saying, go there. You know, he wanted to do that on his own.
What's the next steps for you?
I have to bury my son. And I have to take care of the rest of my kids and still see my son in them. Every day.
Is he the oldest?
He's the oldest boy.
Of 3 kids or 4 kids?
I had 5 and I have 4.
What are you gonna miss most about your son?
Everything. Everything y'all would never even imagine. And that, I'm gonna keep that to myself because I deserve that. That's mine. I'm gonna keep that, you know. And that's all I have to say right now.
What do you hope comes out of the investigations that police are conducting? Do you hope that they're fair?
Yes, I hope that they fair, and I hope they do everything right, all the details. You know, don't cut no corners. You know, be honest. Don't tell no lies. Don't try to just save yourself. Just be honest. You know, it's time. It's time for a change. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to stop. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do this. You can't. Y'all police officers, come on now. Don't you supposed to protect? You know what I'm saying? Not harm, not kill.
The level of force that was actually used was totally wrong. Okay? The level of force. He went all the way.
Did he ever own any weapons or anything?
No.
Never.
This is a kid with no weapons.
Never.
No weapons.
We know the investigation is still ongoing. Are you under the impression he had items on him that were stolen from the Walmart store?
I don't know anything.
No, we don't know anything. There's no proof here. The burden of proof. Where is it at?
And this might be a question for Mom. Has he ever shoplifted in the past?
No, I work. I give him money. You know, he don't have to shoplift for nothing.
I mean, that really shouldn't even be a huge
Issue.
factor.
It's the fact that a black kid got killed. Again, 2 months later, something is wrong with this picture.
What about the witness that we all spoke with? And he said that there had been a taser, and that there was a taser used, and that William had hit that taser out of the officer's hand. That was the step that then led to the shooting.
Well, you knowing things that I don't even know nothing about.
The Portsmouth branch of the NAACP, we stand in solidarity with this family here today. There's things that are being investigated, and those things will come out in due time. However, we are here to stand in solidarity with this family, to say in this community, as our sister just said, it's time for a change, and it's time for us to stand up, to speak for ourselves, and demand something better for our community. But again, the Portsmouth NAACP, we stand in solidarity with this family today.
Are you waiting on more facts to come out before you guys comment any further?
We're not going to comment at this time.
Do you believe that you can get a fair investigation with the way it's set up with the state police doing the investigation?
Again, we will comment on that in due time. Right now, the focus is on this family and standing in solidarity with this family today.
Are you guys calling on the federal government to investigate this?
Again, we're not going to answer any questions regarding investigations at this time.
This question for you, if he was shoplifting and let's say he did take items from the store, did her son deserve to lose his life for that?
No, sir. As a security officer myself, I know the level of response. A misdemeanor? No. Okay? All they had to do, they had his picture already, they knew who he was, call another police officer, get some assistance. That's it. Okay? He did not have to die.
If the officer comes back and says that he felt threatened, the officer's taser was knocked out of his arm, if you put yourself in the officer's shoes and he felt threatened, do you think he had the right to use deadly force?
Let me tell you something. I am an armed officer myself. I know better. Okay? The level, deadly force. He didn't have to. He had more tools in the toolbox than that. Okay? My cousin had no weapons. No weapons.
I asked you this question already. He had his taser. We are under the impression from eyewitness accounts, because we do not have any information from the police, that the taser was knocked out of his hand. Talk about some other things, you know, from your background that he could have done instead of pulling the trigger.
Well, from my background, first of all, communicate with him. Okay? Communicate with him. Probably talk him down. He had no weapons. You know, son, what's going on with you? That's how you deal with that. Right? And as far as the taser was concerned, I don't know. As far as ever going for your weapon, that's a no-no. We've been taught that. Even a security officer knows better to go for his weapon. That's a level of force. It wasn't a felony they committed. That's why.
Did you want to comment on that? If it does come back that he knocked out a taser from a police officer's hand and the officer felt threatened, do you think he had the right to use deadly force to protect himself?
Again, there's a lot of concerns there. As our brother was saying, there's a lot of concerns in regards to the facts that need to come out in the situation that led to somebody losing their life. But again, the community is outraged about what's going on in the city of Portsmouth. And we're not going to stand by idle and not have anything to say about it. Again, we stand in solidarity with this family, but we're committed to making sure that the community gets the facts, and we stand again in solidarity with this family here today.
I want to ask you specifically, what are you specifically outraged about?
We're outraged about the loss of life, about the appearance of the devaluement of human life, specifically black lives in this community. And again, we stand in solidarity. There's investigations that need to happen. But again, we stand in solidarity with this family, but we also stand in solidarity with our community.
You said that you're not going to stand idle. What do you think is the best way to respond to incidents like this? You see, people protesting in Baltimore, rioting. What's the best way for, Portsmouth to respond to this?
Well, as the family said, we encourage those involved in the investigation to do so in a transparent way. And we hope that we can get that for this family. We hope this family can get that. So that's the best way for us right now to get what's best for this family, is transparency in terms of the investigation. But again, as a community, we do need to come together. And that's what we're calling on the community to do today.
What do you mean by come together? Are you suggesting that you're going to start protesting? Going out in the streets? What does that mean?
There's a lot of ways that we can come together as a community. There's a lot of ways that we can come together. And we're not going to comment on what things may or may not be in most